Hello, people. Back at it again. Another episode of The World is Burning, coming in hot with another one. Today we're looking at student loans again. We're actually going to look at if it's a good value proposition now. I think most people are kind of getting turned off. It costs too much. They're ending in debt. They're not getting jobs. I feel like we were sold a bill of goods in a lot of aspects. If you're new here, though, enjoy, take a seat, give us a follow, join the community. This is one of the best communities on YouTube. Obviously, I'm going to be biased saying that, but love you all, guys. 750 people. Getting some fantastic comments as well. Love the comments, guys. Today, we're looking at the top 10 most regretted college majors, and we're going to look if it's a good value proposition anymore. Let's go straight down into this. Let's get into it, guys. The 10 most regretted majors after graduation. Journalism, sociology, liberal arts, general studies, communication, education, marketing management research, medical clinical assisting, political science and government, biology. I was kind of shocked at biology because that's a STEM one. And then English language and literature. And this was a survey of 1,500 job seekers. So these people are regretting the decisions. They're getting loaded up with debt, and the salaries they're getting when they come out, they're like, oh my God, I can't pay these debts back. I am now a slave to the system. On the flip side, let's look at the ones least regretted: computer and IT, criminology, engineering, nursing, health, business administration and management, finance, psychology, construction trades, human resources management. I was actually shocked about this one. I thought that would be in the most regretted: human resources management. But look at this. These are all STEM, pretty much. These are all STEM. And at the end of the day, you can take these degrees and move quite comfortably into a decent paying job, unlike these ones, you know? Like education, you might leave with 60 grand's worth of debt and you're on, what, 35 grand a year? The math ain't mathing. Look at this. In 2006, the historical student debt was $500 billion. Fast forward 17 years and look at us. 1.76 trillion. It's absolutely silly. These numbers are silly. They don't even make sense anymore. I mean, obviously we had the financial crisis and then they started printing loads of money and it got silly. But this is an unsustainable number, guys. This is an unsustainable number. I thought, let's look into the unemployment rate of graduates. So in 2023 in the UK, we had 36.4 million graduates. But look at this, they face an unemployment rate of 12.7. Back in the day, you could get a degree, swan into a job, and you sound. That's not the case anymore, people. That's not the case. And this number makes sense to me, 12.7%. And I thought, let's look at the American. America's claiming that they have 5% graduate unemployment. Leave me a comment, guys. I think that's bullshit. Obviously, during the pandemic, that should not be named. This shot up to 13.3. I think we're still closer to 13.3. We all know they fudged the numbers. But what the bloody hell is that? Leave me a comment. I don't think that's correct at all. This one here, I thought this was quite interesting. Scale of student loans in England. Currently 20 billion a year is loaned to around 1.5 million students each year. I mean, make that make sense. Value of outstanding loans at the end of March reached 206 billion. These numbers are getting silly, people. Absolutely silly. The government forecasts the value of outstanding loans to be 460 billion by the mid-2024s. And the average student debt in the UK, we're following the American footsteps. You're leaving with 45k. Okay, people? And I thought, these numbers don't make sense. You go into this, government to lose money on all student loans, even those repaid in full. So now even the government's losing money on this. The universities are charging too much. They're giving money out left, right and centre. So yeah, it's not a good. Let's have a quick look at the debt clock. Oh God, that makes me so sad. Makes me so sad. But yeah, let's get into it, guys. I haven't seen any of these videos before I watch them with you. Let's see what people are saying about regretting degrees.
Do you regret anything about your time at university?
I would say I regret the degree that I chose to take. I did media and film studies. I think I chose it just because I wanted to go to university in general.
Yeah.
I didn't put a lot of thought into what job I would get after the fact. It's now been 5 years since I attended university. I've not put that degree to any use, and I don't believe I ever will.
And leave me a
Do you
comment,
regret
guys.
anything
Leave
about
me
your
a
time
comment.
at university?
I'm not using my degree. I work in an engineering company. I'm a sales guy. I got a degree in sports science, physical. I really enjoyed my degree because I learnt a lot and I do a lot of training and whatnot. But I never used it. Let me know, are you using your degree? This poor lad in.
The top 10 most regretted college majors. Some people claim that a college degree isn't worth it anymore, but people with a bachelor's degree make an average of 84% more than high school diploma only. But not all college degrees are the same, and 44% of college grads regret theirs. And here are the 10 worst. Remember to follow if you like psychology and money. Number 10, English language and literature.
Yep.
Number 9, biology.
Yep.
Number 8, political science and government.
Yep.
Number 7, medical and clinical assisting. Number 6, marketing.
See, that one shocks me. That one shocks me, guys, because I thought you could, especially in America, you could move and do some medical assisting and get a pretty decent job like a dental assistant or some sort of medical assistant. Leave me a comment. Am I completely off the beaten path with that?
And research. Number 5, education. Number 4, communications. Number 3, liberal arts and general studies. Number 2, sociology. And the absolute most regretted college major, and please share this video with someone who needs to see it, journalism. Top 10 most...
Yep, it's the same list we just went through. I like this comment here from Marla. Criminal justice major here, wish I were an electrician. You don't know how many people think that as well, Marla.
I made a video where I mentioned my regrets of becoming a pharmacist and all the careers that I would not recommend, and all of you guys wanted to know, well, what would I recommend? So I made a list, and hear me out, because these careers, they only require a bachelor's degree. Some don't even require any bachelor's degree, and most of them you can make $100,000 starting off. So my first recommendation is to become a data scientist, and in that role you would analyze data to solve complex problems that a business is happening and unlock business insights, and you would make over $100,000 in this role. My next
Yeah, I agree with some of these comments here though. AI is going to make data scientist jobs obsolete, so yeah, I won't be putting your money on this one right now, guys.
would be to become a software developer, because honestly anything with computer technology software, it is not going away. If anything, the demand for jobs like that will increase. And the cool thing about becoming a software developer is a lot of the jobs are remote. You have a lot of flexibility, and so I think it's really cool for a person that likes to travel, or they want to focus on their family, or they're an introvert and they just don't want to be bothered, they want to work alone, become a software developer. So I put marketing manager, and the reason why I put this, it's because if you can do it right, then it could be such a lucrative business. Because when it comes to like all these businesses, everyone is on social media right now, or they are marketing online. Like I personally have an e-commerce business, and so I know how expensive it is to hire someone to market. And so if you have a knack for marketing, and you can figure out how to unlock all these activations for another brand to make money, then you can get yourself a job that pays easily $150,000, or start your own company and then make way more. So user experience designer, it's like called UX designer. So for example, if you are like scrolling on TikTok right now, all the features that are on here that like you're experiencing, someone had to go through and experience it for themselves and say, hey, this feels right, this feels bad, like this is too hard to use, let's take it out. So that's what you would essentially do. Like look at websites, look at apps, and see like how is the experience that a customer would have at the end. My next recommendation is honestly to not even like go and get a bachelor's degree. Don't even go to school. Just become a skilled trade worker, because there is a huge shortage in America for skilled workers such as welders. And you can make, again, over $100,000 becoming a welder. My next recommendation is a civil engineer. Basically, you would like design like roads and infrastructures and buildings like that. But any type of engineering is really good. My husband is an automotive engineer, and so he does have his master's degree, but with his master's degree, he's making way more than most people with a doctorate degree or people in healthcare. My last recommendation is to become a web developer, because
Yeah, I think this girl's a little bit out of touch with the current market. I think a lot of these tech jobs, there's too many people who are also trying to get these jobs. I like the welder one though. I think most people are going to go down this trade route. But yeah, AI is going to wreck a bunch of these. There's too many marketing people right now, if you're following my videos, who are looking for jobs. Yeah, catch the next one.
I felt like I made the wrong decision by studying biomedical science multiple times throughout my career. So let me tell you the few times that I thought the same thing and what I realized with time. The first time I felt like this was after I finished my NHS placement, when I realized I don't want to go back to the lab, and the life that I envisioned for myself all of a sudden like crumbled and crashed in front of my eyes within a year of basically doing the placement. But what I realized with time is that there's always a different path. There's always another option, even if it's not known or easy to spot. There's always something else I could do. And I've had 2 jobs after that, including the one I'm in currently right now. And they've both been very different from each other. With each of these jobs, I found myself surprised by the type of jobs that I can get with a biomedical science degree. The second time I felt like I might be regretting my degree was after graduating, when I realized how hard it is to get a job, how hard it is to get work experience, and how low biomedical science jobs are being paid. In this case, what was really making me believe this was that I was comparing myself to my friends who did different degrees, who started out on sometimes double the entry-level salary that I was getting, who were not struggling as much as I was struggling. And with time, I just realized that, my journey's not going to change if I compare myself to somebody else. Things are not going to get easier for me if I feel bad that somebody else is making more money or is progressing a lot quicker. There's no perfect degree. Each degree has its downsides, but when I'm comparing myself, I'm only choosing to look at the positives. So if you feel like this, honestly, leave it in the...
Yeah, guys, and this is the thing. Before you sign up to a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 year degree, actually look at the job prospects, do an ROI calculation, think about what jobs you're actually going to get. Be realistic with it. Don't be doing your ROI calculations on the best possible scenario, because even like locations change the different wage you're going to be getting. Really look into it and know what you're signing up for, people.
It no longer feels like a privilege to study medicine, even though it is the most amazing job in the world. It no longer feels like a privilege to study medicine because the amount of work you're putting in doesn't really give you the reward financially. It no longer feels like a privilege to study medicine, which is really worrying considering the amount of responsibility that you have when you do start working as a doctor. It's honestly really heartbreaking to see medical students with such a bright future feeling like this about studying medicine, and I, as a newly qualified doctor, also feel a little bit like this. Here's a few things that you can think about to make yourself feel a little bit better. Having a medical degree is actually very powerful. The skills which you've picked up in your degree are applicable to most fields. If you really don't want to be a doctor, there are opportunities to work in consulting, in banking, in finance. Some people are going into big pharma. These companies know the value of a medical degree and they know how much work it takes to even get through the medical degree. And so they're targeting medical students and doctors in order to poach them from the NHS. The most difficult decision is actually taking your degree and your worth and leaving medicine, and that's something that I don't personally feel I'm ready to do or I want to do. Recently finished medical school, I can't just sit here and say that everything is going to be fine. I'm still optimistic. The thing is, you went to medical school because you wanted to be a doctor, not because you wanted to work in finance. But it's the conditions that doctors are facing that push you away from wanting to be a doctor, and not the subject matter itself.
Yeah, I particularly feel for doctors in the UK or anyone who's on like the NHS service, something like that. They really don't get valued for what they do. I think the NHS is falling apart by the seams, and we're probably not going to have it much longer. Leave me a comment though, guys. Do you think we're going to have the NHS forever? I just can't see it panning out forever.
I think it was a waste of time going to uni. I wouldn't say it was a waste of time, but knowing what I know now, I do kind of regret it. I feel like if I really gave myself the room to explore my curiosity, I probably would have realised sooner that that traditional route isn't for me. And if I was to go to uni, I wish I approached it knowing that I'm just here for the experience. Which I picked a degree like more in the creative writing space, just so that I can actually become better at that skill because it's something I enjoy, as opposed to using economics thinking that that's what was going to make me the most money. Literally not one bit of that degree do I use in my life. If you're 100% focus and priority is on making the most money possible, and you know you have a business idea that you want to explore, then I will just weigh up how important are those extras you get from uni. How important is it for you to take the time to like live away from home, experience student life? Overall, I do regret it, but not to the level where it was like that was the biggest mistake of my life. It was just more like I could have probably picked another path that would have got me to where I am faster. But at the same time, I did have an amazing time at uni, met loads of great people, studied abroad, live my life.
Shout out this girl. At least she's being open and honest and saying exactly what she thinks. But yeah, guys, I think in the next 10 years, the whole prospect of university is going to be flipped on its head and it's not going to hold the weight anymore. It's already not holding the weight. But leave me a comment. Do you think it's a good deal? Or do you regret your degree? I'd love to hear from you. I love hearing from the community. And I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Bye.